right? You get the idea. Well, welcome everybody. This is the second in my series of weekly guitar Q&A and guitar lesson courses. You can see at the top here I've got the online guitar coaching.com. That's a website where I've got all my courses. Some are free, and you can sign up and join the monthly membership and to get access to all sorts of courses. Today we're going to start with some basic techniques. A lot of you guys might know this already, but I'm going to go through some of them pretty quickly. And if you have any questions, you can post them in the chat room as well. But barring that, I'm going to go through some of these techniques. So usually during soloing, you'll find if you try to learn a song or something like that, there's a lot of techniques that you're not going to be able to do. So it kind of stops you from being able to, you know, pull off these certain techniques, so to speak. So sometimes you have to isolate those issues. So it's good to learn to practice them in a song, actually. So let's just pick an example. If we look at what they call a pull-off, I'm not going to do any tab in this case. I'm going to try to get you guys to just watch what I'm doing, and I'll explain it, and just use your ears and listen to what I'm doing. The first thing we're going to talk about is what they call a pull-off. So your pinky is on the 8th fret on the 1st string. So this is the 1st string, the thin one. That's the E string. The low string, the low E, is a 6th string. So 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thumb, this will be my 1st finger, index finger, 2nd finger, 3rd, 4th, index, middle, ring, and pinky. Just so you get my terminology, okay? Okay, so for a pull-off, pinky on the 8th fret, 1st string, on the E string, and the 1st finger on the 5th fret. That's a C down to the A. So what you do is you pick the note, so you put both fingers on the fretboard on the strings ahead of time. Just going to check the chat room here for a second. So you put both your fingers together like this. So this one's ready to go. Pick the note on the 8th fret, the C, and with your pinky, pull down towards the floor. And that makes this note sound. So your finger has to be ready to go push down on the fret. So you can flick that. So you don't want to move your pinky too much. And once you have that note, you can flick this one off, and that'll make the open string ring. Flick that off to the 5, pull that off to the open string. You can work on getting that faster. Move this mic down a little bit. You see how you can get a lot of speed with that. If you slide this whole thing down a fret, 7, 4, open. Sort of has that classical sound to it. If you're doing like Back in Black or something, your 3rd fret, move this over a bit. 3rd fret on the 1st string, and then 3rd fret on the 2nd string. So that's where the speed can come in, practicing the pull-offs. You guys could take that 8 to 5 on the E string and do it on each string. So on the B string, G string, D string, A string, and E string. So when you're doing it on a middle string, you have to be careful that you don't hit the strings below when you flick down like that. So what happens is this first finger is curled. I'm playing the third string, but you can hear that the curl of this finger is touching the other strings. So when I pull that off, I want to keep the pinky movement fairly small. Alright. Now we can go into a lot more detail. You can add another note. Pull off from the pinky. The pinky is usually pretty weak, so you're going to have to work on this. Pull off to the 7th fret with your third finger. And do that twice. Okay. Let's move on to hammer-ons now. So that's kind of the opposite effect. You play the note on the 5th fret, and you hammer down your pinky on the 8th fret. So the trick is to get your pinky right on that string, to hit it right on the string. And basically, that's going to take some effort to coordinate. You might miss it. You might not hit the right string, so you want to make sure. So you basically need a certain amount of finger strength to be able to do that. So you pick the note, hammer it down. So at first you might have your pinky pretty high up off the fretboard so that you can get enough velocity. Do that on 5 to 8 for each string. Five to 8. 8, A, C, A. Now, when you got the hammer-ons and the pull-offs, you can combine them. So do a hammer-on to the 8th fret, pull that off again. Hammer, pull, hammer. So if you go open on the G string, 3rd string, so you get that trill. So you go. So you're flicking down towards the floor. You don't want to bend a string though. You don't want to do that. So you hammer straight down, flick quickly. Okay? And when just an example of what I was doing in that initial solo is, you get a lot of so that's where they call legato phrasing comes in. You start to connect. You're playing some scales in that, but you're sliding and you're hammering on and pull off. But that you're barely picking at all, so you can get a massive amount of speed. And sliding is no big deal. Just picking a quick. When you slide, you got to keep pushing on the fretboard. So you use it sometimes as a position shift, like. So after I play that note, slide up 2 frets. Okay, we're going to look at some bending now. What I do is, let's say you're going to bend at the 8th fret on the 2nd string, the B string. Use my 3rd finger. I got my other 2 fingers on the string as well, and I use all 3 to push up. And I've also got my thumb up here somewhere, just for extra anchoring. So you pick the note, bend it up and down, and you're pushing against the fretboard. So you need these. If you just have this finger like this and you're trying to, it's really hard. I mean, I've got a fair amount of strength in my fingers now, but for you guys, adding these other two behind, or you know, if you're using your pinky, the other fingers are also on the string. So if let's say I use my third finger, these two fingers are also on the same string. What you can do to get your bending to be accurate is, if you play the note on the 8th fret on the 2nd string, it's going to be the same as the note. When you bend it up, it's going to go from a G up to an A, and it's going to be that same A note on the 5th fret of the 1st string. So you want those two pitches to match, or up 2 frets as well. You can do a pre-bend where you take the note, bend it up ahead of time, pushing up against the fretboard. Pick the note first when it's bent, and then release it downward. A bit of a squeal there. Pinch harmonic. Speaking of pinch harmonics, I've done a guitar lesson on this, but that squeal there is, you just, with your right hand, after you pick, your thumb touches the string. You kind of dig into the strings when you pick it. You can pick along different spots in the string. Find that sweet spot. You can do it on any string. So the side of my thumb right here is touching the strings. You can check out my pinch harmonic video on that, which goes into a lot more detail. Tapping is related to the pull-offs and the hammer-ons. What I'm going to do with my right hand, say my middle finger, I don't want to give you the finger here, but say my middle finger, I tap on the 12th fret of the 1st string, of the E string, and then I can pull off down towards the floor to the 8th fret here. So it's like a Van Halen, and it was one of the first guys to do this. Hammer down, pull. I got my pick between my thumb and my first finger. You can also, some people put the pick, let's see if I can show this. It's between my middle finger and in the palm. You see? If I want to use, and then I can just go grab it again. So I kind of use my second middle finger. There's a good shot there. Okay. Middle finger gripping the pick like this. But if I want to use my second finger, it's easy because I can just keep the pick like this. If I add another pull off to the 5th fret, and then I can go 12, 8, 5, open, hammer back on, and you can do it on other strings. Stuff like that. Same concept. Hammer down. It's going to take some practice to hit the string. You're going to build some calluses on your fingers because it's going to hurt pushing on that wire. Push down, pull down towards the floor. So it's a flick. Related to the bending, you can do vibrato. So a bend is like bending up and down again. if you let it go back down and keep doing it, that's a slow vibrato, so you can. I like doing it after a pinch. You just rock that string up and down, pushing on the fretboard the whole time. So it's just like a. So the other thing to keep in mind when you do bends and the vibrato is on these two outside strings, you're gonna have to go inside the neck. So on this one, you're gonna have to go up. I go up on that one, up on that one. Usually I go down on the 4th string, down on the 5th, down on the 6th. So you have to. You're bending it downwards instead of upwards on these 3 strings because you can't. You know, on the 6th string you're gonna go off the out like that. If I try to go up, right? There's a fair amount of stuff here I'm blowing through pretty quickly. I think based on the what I've covered already, I'm gonna cut this a little bit short today. People are asking me a lot of times about my guitar. Ibanez, as you notice, it's one of my guitars. Ibanez, it's an RG series. I bought it in 1988, so it's been quite a while. Pretty thin neck, as I talked about before. I don't have the Floyd Rose on this anymore. I took it off. Didn't use it much, and I broke the whammy bar years ago. So there's like a wooden block in the back. You can see basically right here. Kind of makes it a fixed bridge. The pickups, I've got a humbucker EMG pickups. So we got a humbucker and a single coil here, and those are active pickups. So there's actually, if you look at the guitar here, let's see, right up here, there's actually a battery because there's an active preamp in there, so you get a pretty good edgy tone with that. But I can also get a kind of a smooth, get that kind of Ingwe sort of thing, but a bluesy tone as well. So anyways, I think that's pretty good for now. I've got this online guitar coaching program. If you guys want to get more detail and actually, you know, go through the courses with me, you can check that out at onlineguitarcoaching.com. There's also I'm going to open up this now. I've got a Facebook page. See if I can add this here. I'm going to take that off. Put up the... I've got a Facebook page, and if you join it, you'll be able to keep in touch with what I'm doing. And I'm going to put that up right now. So if you check that out, this is just a URL shortener, bit.ly online guitar coaching. That'll get you in the Facebook page, so you'll be able to become a fan and sort of keep up to date on the new lessons and stuff like that, and the new live lessons as well. Twitter.com, Will Krisky. So I tweet guitar lessons and links to cool videos and stuff like that. And YouTube.com, and I've got a whole bunch of free videos on YouTube if you go here. And I mentioned the online coaching program, which is basically my membership site. So for $19 a month right now, you can get in. There's 7 courses, a whole bunch of content. I'm going to be adding more content on a regular basis, and I can answer any questions through the email and through contacting me, Twittering. I'm basically available anytime. So some of the coaching programs, I've got actually a systematic approach to learning the fretboard, 5 shapes, and chord tone soloing, so you can create some melodic solos, and technique and song analysis and stuff like that. So I look forward to seeing you guys there, and we'll see you on the next lesson. See you guys.